Good morning, everyone, or good day, whatever time it happens to be. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Here I'm taking some Dollar Tree trays, and I basically wanted to practice. You can see I took a piece that splintered off. I'm going to try to fill in my gap here. I had actually three trays, but um, it's the Mod Podge is what I'm working on today. Um, I didn't have any confidence in myself, so I didn't think this was going to turn out, and I didn't finish my trays before I started. So, um, with a little bit of confidence, I would have had a really beautiful tray. Even though I didn't finish it, it still turns out really well. But my goal was the Mod Podge to see if I could do it. And it turns out really, really well. So I had went to YouTube and looked up videos on Mod Podge, and I actually found the one from the manufacturer of Mod Podge, and I followed the woman's instructions exactly. And my Mod Podge has been turning out really well. I've done several things now with Mod Podge, and I don't get blisters anymore. At first, I think I got a couple blisters on whatever it was I was working on, but my last four things, I think, are blister free. So here you see me, I'm just securing these, and I want to tell you that tray is still flimsy. To this day, it's flimsy. Um, it needed more support, but like I said, I was just doing it for the Mod Podge, mostly for the experience, but to do another, YouTube video. At some point, I hope I go viral. I'm not doing really well as far as viewers and subscribers and whatnot. But I'm hoping, at one point, one of my videos is going to be good enough to people are going to share it or spread it around. YouTube changed their policies up, so you have to have 1,000 subscribers, I believe. I think it used to be likes, but it's actually subscribers, and I don't have very many. So I guess the thing for me to do is just keep trying. But so, anyways, you see me scoring the scrapbook paper. I took a tiny little piece of wood that I got out of a pack of wood from the Dollar Tree. I bought two of those packs when they had them, and I've not seen them again. You could also use the tip of a skewer. You just lay it down in there and into that crease, and take that sharp object. Just make sure it's going right down into the crease, right down into the where the wood comes together there. So now I'm taking my pencil and in the center, and I want it to go over the hump onto the other side. So I'm just laying my pencil lead flat and just running it along there so it leaves a mark right where the hump is. Right where I want to cut it. So it was difficult for a second. It wasn't hard. It was just something you got to do. So you can see where it kind of scored it there too. So anyways, of course you're going to do that with both sides. And the Mod Podge, I don't have a roller, so I use an empty paint bottle, or in this video I think I use the Mod Podge bottle. You just wipe it off when you're done. But after, you're going to put the Mod Podge in or on the surface that you want the scrapbook paper to be on. And then you're going to spray the paper with water. I don't know how water to tell you. You don't measure it out. I use a spray bottle, and I squirt water onto it, and I use the same brush that I used to put the Mod Podge on the surface. I use that same brush to brush the water onto the paper. Now, if the the water's literally running off of the paper, you obviously need to dump some of it off. But one thing I want to say, you can measure this paper out perfectly, but when you go to put it in, you spray it with the water. You got the Mod Podge already laid down. You lay that paper down on top, and the paper miraculously gets bigger. So the more you mess with it, the bigger the paper gets. At least, maybe I'm just going crazy, but at least that's mine. I will measure something out perfectly, and I always end up with it being too big. So the paper has to be stretching as you go. So I think the more you touch it, or the more you roll it or brush it, it just keeps getting a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. So even if you do measure something out perfectly, it's still going to be a little bit big when you're done. So with this, I didn't show it on camera, but I do end up putting rope around the edges, because like I said, I hadn't finished it, thinking that I was going to mess it up. I have absolutely no reason why I didn't finish this before I started, why I didn't finish the wood. But afterwards, so, okay, so this is one of those times when I was like, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? But I sprayed the water before I was even ready. So you put the Mod Podge down first, and then you spray the water on the paper. The paper, like I said, the paper starts getting bigger after you wet it down. So this still worked out. Whatever I did wrong wasn't wrong, because it worked. So anyways, Mod Podge down first, then the water. And I did it the opposite here. I did the water first and then the Mod Podge, but I did it quickly, so just in case, But I was still learning. I just watched the videos. I remember I just watched the videos either that day or the day before. So, yeah. Put a fair amount of Mod Podge. You want it covered. You want it to be white. Mod Podge dries clear. Anyway, so if it comes up on the side, it's not going to be that big of a deal. So just make sure when you put your scrapbook paper down that you have it the way you want it. I did do some musical notes on a little house that I made out of a Dollar Tree arrow, and I put them upside down. Unless you really know what you're doing there, you don't really notice it that much, but I do, because I made it and I knew it was upside down as soon as I did it. So especially now, since we're using two pieces, you want to make sure that they're all going the same direction. But this paper, this scrapbook paper, is the one that's got like the postcards and whatnot, sweet nothings, or I don't know what they are, letters, postcards, so it looks really cool. But you want to make sure that both sides are going the same way. See, there I put the paper down without putting the Mod Podge on. So I kind of did a little backwards, whatever you want to call it. But it turned out great. I'm sitting here looking at it right now. It turned out wonderful. So just remember, the biggest decision probably is whether to use matte or gloss Mod Podge. I used gloss, and it turned out fine, but you could use matte. I'm more of a matte kind of person, but I think on some things, like if you're doing a picture with, you're doing a big picture with Mod Podge, you might want to use the gloss to make it look like you have glass in it when you really don't. But yeah, you see my big expensive roller there, but it works. So at some point in my life, I'll probably buy a roller. I don't know if do you call that a burnisher? I'm not sure if there's a special name for the roller that you use, but anyway, you want to roll it really, put some firm pressure on it while you're rolling to make sure that you're getting all the blisters and the bubbles out. Okay, guys, I'm going to take over. It'll be a whatever you call it, a live video after this. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please hit like, maybe share, subscribe. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. We have no bubbles. The only thing that we have is where I put it together. There's no bubbles. There's no, the Mod Podge stayed down. So if you use the water, the technique that I showed you, here it looks like, where's that at actually? Right here. It looks like bubbles, but it's not. It's just the words. So trust me, I ended up with no bubbles. There's no bubbles anywhere on here. Anywhere you see that looks like a bubble is actually the words from the scrapbook paper. See right there? See the words? There's actually no blisters on here. I'm really actually pretty proud. And I wanted to do a tutorial on how to use the Mod Podge because so many people have so much trouble keeping this blister free. So here you go. I hope it helps someone. I really do. Thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. Oh, by the way, this Mod Podge turned out really well. I also did another, and I love this scrapbook paper. This is the prettiest ever. I'm going to put a frame on this, but this one turned out with no bubbles. It has 0 bubbles. Everywhere that I look that I think I see a bubble, there is nothing there. It's just a piece of the map. I messed up here. You can't really tell. I leaned my hand on it while I was working it, and it pulled up a piece of the top of the paper. But that's the only issue. I have no bubbles anywhere on this, and I followed the advice of the maker of the Mod Podge, and it turned out really, really well. But I want to say this tray is too flimsy. I knew it. That's why I didn't finish it. So it's just flimsy as could be. It's terrible. I wouldn't. I mean, you could use it as a decoration. Maybe paint the outside of it. Put some rope on the inside. But it's so flimsy. I wouldn't. I wouldn't try to put anything on it to actually hold it. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Okay, so I'm going to do some more Mod Podge. I got this little thing at Family Dollar. I don't know what the heck that's, some kind of a stain, but it doesn't matter. We're going to cover it up with this scrapbook paper of a map. And one thing I want to say, when you do these, make sure you get your paper right side up, because I did musical notes and I did them upside down, so yeah. I don't know how many people are actually going to notice that if I tried to sell it or whatever, but just in case, I'm going to get my water bottle, which is very important, and then we're going to get started. I have been using the gloss because it looks really pretty. This time I'm going to use a matte. This is $1 at the what am I trying to say? Dollar Tree, but it's only 97 cents at Walmart, so either or, you're getting a good deal. So making sure that my map is right side up. I mean, it does go different directions here, but I cut off the piece that has the writing, so I know which way it was. So anyway, I'm going to trace this out. I'm just going to stay right on the edge, that way I don't have to trace that edge out. I forgot to grab my pencil. Oh, there it is. So just make sure that you have plenty, a little bit extra on the edges when you do that. That way, in case your paper shrinks up just a little bit, it's not going to be much if it does. So go ahead and trace, and make sure your pencil's nice and sharp. You don't want a real fat line, because then you might you know, cut in too much, or it'll just be too big. So anyway, yeah, I'm still messy here. I have a heck of a time getting motivated because of depression. I have spent the last several days crying, you know, over my situation, and it's not fun. It's not a fun thing, and no matter what I try to do to avoid, you know, make sure you stay on the outside, you know, not the outside of the line, but if you're going to cut one way or the other, you always want to be towards the outside. But anyway, no matter what I try to do to cheer myself up, it just doesn't work. I'm still the mother of 2 dead children, and it's a very somber reality. I don't know what word to use. It is what it is. Anyway, my goal here is after I get this on there, after it dries, I'm going to cut these out. The shiplap wood, I'm going to cut the insides out. And I think it's going to look really cool like that. But I don't know. I've never done it. So, you know, we're going to do this together. If it turns out right, it turns out right. I think even if it doesn't turn out well, I'm still going to show the video. Put my Mod Podge in there. And get me a good yucky brush, I call it. This brush has been through heck and back, as you can see. I hope my lighting is good. What I can see, it looks like it is, but having trouble with my lighting in here, which is always, I'm always going to say that probably. Okay, so we want to go ahead and lay our Mod Podge down. Hang on. Okay, so you ever get one of those moments where you're just unsure of what you're doing? And I'm like, am I supposed to be doing that first? I know I don't have enough Mod Podge in here, so I'm going to put some more in. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Plus, I woke up and I feel like my back is just broken in half. I got some bad news. My MRI came back that my hardware from my L5S1 is drifting forward towards my belly, and I'm not sure what's going to become of that, because it took the back burner to neuralgia paresthetica, which is the nerves in my groin area are impinged somehow, for some reason. Anyway, get a fair amount of Mod Podge. So everybody's kind of focused on that. My legs feel like what I think a burnt hot dog would feel. Okay, water. We squirt this scrapbook paper with water. If you think you get too much water, you know, brush it off, shake it off, whatever. This has been working for me. This is like the 5th thing that I've Mod Podged, and I was always scared to Mod Podge because people kept telling me you're gonna get bubbles, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get that. So I watched the video from Mod Podge, the maker, and I followed everything that the woman said to do, and it seems to work out, you know, pretty well. Just make sure that you're where you want to be before you start to roll it or whatever. So first, I just take this and I roll it, and it pops out all the blisters, all the air there. I don't have a, whatever you call it, what do you call it? Can't remember, the roller thing. But I have this, and do this before you put your layer of Mod Podge on top. And you can also do it afterwards too. But this would be the time that if you're not where you want to be, you know, scoot it over. Do it quickly though, because you don't have a lot of time. So then you're gonna, you know, Mod Podge over the top. Yeah, you don't have a lot of time to mess around because your paper starts to get soggy from the water and it will start to rip. So make sure that you're not touching. I was trying to fix something at one point. I got a big blister right there. But I was trying to fix something at one point and I had my hand down on it and it took all the paper off and it was all lined on my hand. Oh, I was so upset. So upset. And I'll show you that in a minute what I did, but yeah, we got a big blister over here we need to get rid of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it. Just roll it. Get your hand yucky after you put your Mod Podge on, but this is what you need to do to get rid of those bubbles. This one's kind of a tough bubble. Might be something on the wood that I didn't see. Maybe I didn't get enough Mod Podge down. I'm just not sure until it dries, you know, what exactly the issue is. I can see lines all over, but I'm just going to put some Mod Podge down. Because you know it's going to dry clear, right? And you can see the blisters as you're putting this down. So anyways, you have to be quick. You don't want to be stuck here when your paper starts to oversaturate, which is what it does. So just cover your whole thing. I always go back over and make sure I don't have real heavy lines, real heavy Mod Podge lines, brush lines. I should say brush lines. Then, but you know, since we used matte, it's not going to be terrible. I don't know what that is. Anyway, now's the time. Click everything off and then stop touching it, because the more you touch it, the worse it's going to get. If there's something wrong with it, you're just going to make it worse. Okay, I do have blisters, but I believe it's due to the the shiplap, the areas in the middle, letting air in. So anyway, now my Mod Podge is all messed up, but water's not going to hurt anything. I had my brush, I put my brush in water there, so I'm just going to go back over it, straighten my lines back out. That was something going on right there. My paper's pinched. But like I said, I didn't know if this was going to work out like the rest or not. And it's not so far. But I'm still going to go ahead and publish the video with my Mod Podge video. So just to see, you know, did it work this way or not. And then don't forget to wipe off your roller. Mine's a pretty cheap roller. It was 50 cents. It was 50 cents and full paint. Still has some in it. Okay, so what I did the last time when I had leaned on it, I put my hand down right here. Can you see it? You can't. Because I took another piece. I took another piece of paper and I put it down. It's right here. And you can see it if you're really looking for it. Can you see it? It's right here. It's a little rectangle piece. But I went ahead and put that down on it to cover up my mistake. I'm really disappointed in it. I think I might put a frame on that and just hang it up, you know, because I don't think people are going to notice it. But that's what happened. I just leaned for a second to do something, and it took it right off. Took the paper right off of my hand. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, so This had a lot of blisters in it. Not blisters, but air bubbles, it looked like. And they were all on the slats, the in between the slats. In between the slats. So now it has 0. I do have a dog hair in there. I doubt you can see it, but anyway, it has 0 blisters. So I followed the instructions from that woman. Oh, I thought I had my map upside down. I'm like, all that, and my map's upside down. No, it's not. So anyways, now what I want to do is take out in between the slats. I've never done this before, so let me find the correct X-Acto knife. I guess I should have done that before I started the camera back up. Easy as all that. Okay, so I know around the edges we can just sand it. Sand off the excess, and I do have quite a bit of excess. I would rather have that than, you know, come up short. But so this may be harder than I thought it was going to be. So let me just get in here and slice. You know, I'm not pulling hard, so I am coming towards my body with this, which is not what we recommend when we're using a knife. But I did it very easily. Did you see how easy that was? I mean, it just barely came through. So anyway, I want to take it all out, so I'm going to try really hard not to ruin it, which there's an extra piece of wood right there that I'm hitting into. So, alright, so just come down gently, very gently, put a little pressure towards whichever side, you know, you happen to be on, to get that out of there. I am looking forward to this, actually, when this is done. How cute it's probably going to be. After, you know, we get it out of there pretty good, we can probably use the sandpaper down in there, actually. I think that might be a good idea. So just, you know, get the groove going. I just thought all those pictures I see, so I'm just going to start it where I see right here, and then just really gently and slowly drag it down. I might have just went off there a little bit. Nope, I didn't. Well, there we go. Kind of pop it. See, I've never done this before, so, but I see those pictures where it's shiplapped, but it's got a picture behind it, and it has the gaps in it. I just think those are so freaking cute. So, why go buy one when I have the means to do it myself, and possibly the talent? Haven't been proven on that yet. So, instead of me risking, so you can just push it, you can see which way it needs to be cut. So it's on this, it's this side. But instead of me risking cutting this thing up, I think that maybe my best course of action is a piece of sandpaper. Let me get the other slats. See, I kind of cut into the wood a little bit instead of doing that. So I just have one more. Let me clear this out up here. See, it's so. I'm happy to report that it is kind of turning out the way I wanted it to. Very easily. Don't go overboard with your pressure here. Just kind of pop it. Glide it, I guess, would be the right thing to say. I don't know here if I'm actually cutting. Yeah, it's cutting. Cutting or pushing, it doesn't matter as long as you open it up. You know, push towards the side that, yeah, I'm going all the way through. But that's in the center. Please be careful if you do this. Please be very careful. I was cutting an avocado, it was about a week and a half ago, and trying to get the pit. You know, you stick the knife in the pit. No, I stuck the knife straight into my finger. Oh my goodness, it was so bad. I should have went and got stitches, but no, not me. I taped her up, used some of that super glue. The super glue kept not working because of the, you know, the blood loss, but it wasn't super terrible, or I would have went. Excuse me, I went and got it went in sideways. Kind of sliced it sideways, so it was kind of not stitchable, I think. But it didn't matter. I wasn't going to go anyway. If I would have cut the tip of my finger off, maybe I would have went. But, okay, so now I have sandpaper. And I'm just going to go in here and see what happens here to this. Oh, I think this is going to be so cute when it's done. You know, you can get an idea of how wide. Yeah, it's doing great. There. We don't want to stay on the top of it, but see, it's pushing the paper this way. So if you just keep sanding, it's just going to pull that paper off. Don't sand on top. Oh my goodness, I'm going to be so mad if I mess it up by doing something like that. But if you just sand up against one side or the other, it's going to just pull the excess paper off. I mean, look at this. It's just coming right off. Oops, pulled a little bit too much off. That's not going to hurt. Just keep, you'll see where it starts to push the paper up. Just keep sanding. It's going to come off. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so cute. Did I say that already? Okay, so this has a pretty big piece of paper on this side. It's pretty big where it's coming up here. I just don't want to ruin it by chipping the wood, so I'll make it a little bit easier on the sandpaper here by cutting off that great big piece. There's a pretty big piece there. Alright, so back to the sandpaper. Just brush it up against one side or the other. And after you're satisfied that you got the paper off on that, which I haven't yet, I'm not going hard on it. I'm kind of scared of messing it up, which I think is a good thing. Yeah. So I'm just getting this side. See, you can see the paper on that side there. It's pretty wide, but just kind of tilt your paper a little bit. Not too much, and it'll take that excess paper off. It is. It's doing a great job. It might be a little time consuming, but that's what we're going for here. Oh my goodness. I am loving this already. Then I flip it around and start, you know, coming, because I was going that way the other time. So start sanding on the other side. Sand that excess paper off, you know, maybe push it down and then sand. Just to get that off there. Oops. Oops. See, I'm going to mess it up. Not even kidding. That's me. Mess it up, Mosby. The uncoordinated crafter is what I am. It's a lot more true than, you know, when I picked that name, I knew it was pretty true, because I don't even organize my stuff anymore. I used to until life knocked me down a couple times. And okay, so I'm going to work on this. Just all I'm doing is knocking that paper down, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I am really excited. to show you what I've done. This turned out so good. You know, like I said before, well, we got a couple spots here where it kind of tore a little bit, but this is the cutest thing. The only thing I'll do different next time is I'll probably use the Cricut and put words on it. Maybe before. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. But I have, you know, I have 0 blisters. You can see I did get a little crease right here when I was rolling for some reason. That creased up. But I did go in with the sandpaper, and I did end up folding it a little bit and knocking this stuff down. And then afterwards, I just push it in with my fingers wherever it seems like it's popped up a little bit. And, you know, once you do it, you'll know what I'm talking about, how it kind of popped up a little bit. But this turned out fantastic. I have no, oh, right here, you can see. You see the white here? You just push that back, and it just pushes the paper back down. But anyways, this turned out great. I hope you liked it. I hope you'll hit like and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching.